I became more intentional about building my brand. And that's when I started changing a lot of things. Normally I hate dress up. I don't do dress up. I don't like wigs. I don't like making my hair. But invite me to an event, pay me money, and you will see Veronica's daughter. You may not see Ella, because if you want to see Ella, this is Ella. I'm 3. Let me explain. There's Choma. Choma is the one only those in my inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean my family members. Those people that knew me right from when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. There's the Choma they know. And that Choma is almost never dressed. It's always like in a wrapper. I'll tie it around my neck. I'm comfortable. I'm good. Don't stress me. Then there's Ella. This is Ella. Just casual, wear slippers, wear a dress or a pant, just wear earrings, no makeup, and I'm good. Then of course, there's Dr. Ella / Veronica's daughter. That's the public persona. That's the one the brands are paying for. So they pay you. It's the same person, but everybody has different facades for different occasions and different audiences. And a lot of people right now want to start and they will think, I don't have what it takes. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have a tripod. I don't have those lights. I don't have a podcast mic. What exactly do you have? You have a voice. You have a phone. I don't care how bad your phone is. Start. If I had waited for everything to fall in place, if I'd waited to get all my ducks in a row, I wouldn't be where I am now. Just like saying you are improving on an idea, you can never improve on something that's in the ideation stage. You can only improve something you've started. So once you start, automatically you would improve because practice makes perfect. Absolutely. So I started, and as I was growing, my content became more refined, my aesthetics changed, of course. Then my gadgets changed. I got more polished. I started building my brand because when I started, I was like an accidental influencer. It wasn't intentional.
It's another beautiful conversation, and I'm excited to have this conversation today. My name is Emeka Nobis, and I am the host of the Knowledge Money podcast. On this conversation today, I have with me another powerful creative mind. She's my beautiful friend, a very beautiful woman, and we're going to be having a very fantastic conversation today around the subject of storytelling. So, welcome to the podcast, Ella, aka Verika Stopper.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, Ma. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's dive straight into it as usual, and we're just going to have very beautiful.
Jerusalem that is passing is not worrying you.
It's not worrying us. It's not. Okay, so Ma, storytelling is your forte, basically, and I've come to realize that with your storytelling, it gives us like heroes into your life, especially the vulnerabilities that you show with regards to your family. And I've seen individuals who come on the content that you create and they do all sorts of ill talking about your previous home where you had and also about your special child. Tell us, I mean, for individuals that we have been able to see, they want to project themselves, they want to be out there. But this ill talking by nitwits, if I can use the word, make them just retract into their shells. Is there something that you've learned, or is there a grace that you have that has helped you so much, in doing the work that you do without minding those nitwits, if I can use that word?
Yes, you can use that word.
Okay, well.
Well, I think everything traces back to your upbringing.
Yeah.
The family is very, very key. It's very, very important because what happens within the home goes a long way in preparing anybody for whatever the world would have to throw at you. So that's why I am very keen on parenting, family dynamics, and all that. Growing up in the city of Jos, we're very humble people, and we're people given to kindness and warmth. And as an Anambra family, I know we joked a lot, we played a lot, so it gave me a very serious sense of self. My self-esteem was very high. I became very self-aware at a very young age. And also because I am an avid reader. I started reading novels at the age of 8, 9. By the age of 10, I had read over half of James Hadley Chase.
Amazing.
So for someone of 10 to read those kind of books, I became aware of my surroundings, my environment. I became self aware. What I can do, what I cannot do, what I can say, and what I cannot say. Now, growing up in my family, which was a very Christian family, cursing, bad words were treated like criminality. My father, my mother will beat you blue and black for telling your sibling, get out. I didn't say this, I said the word get out, not something you will think of as very serious curse. But in my family, you are not allowed to do that. Then, even if you're cross with somebody, you're angry with somebody, you have to develop other means of communicating your anger. I can even tell you you're stupid, but the way I would couch it, the way I would say it, it wouldn't sound insulting. Now, when I came on social media, it was a different ball game. It's like anybody could say anything. But I knew who I was, where I'm coming from. I knew where I was going. So your words really, really have no impact. And I have never seen someone whose life is going on very well trolling people on social media. Never seen it. I am yet to see. So it's always the nitwits. It's always the dysfunctional people. It's always the people who cannot stand you in public, hiding behind fake accounts and saying what they like. So I see it as them exposing their ignorance. It doesn't touch me either way. So I have a very thick skin. And I also believe the benefits of what I am doing far outweighs the few people who choose to be mad. You get talking about my family, talking about my vulnerabilities, my issues. It gave a lot of people permission to be, permission not to have it all figured out, permission not to come out as perfect. Because let's face it, nobody is perfect. And all the stories we see on social media, they are mostly contrived. They are mostly stories of success, whether it is audio success or real success. But people were not talking about their failures. People were not talking about their issues. So it's like we're portraying to the younger people the fact that life has to be perfect. You dare not fail at anything. If you don't fail, it means you've never really tried anything new. So I had to come to social media as myself. I didn't have the wherewithal to pretend to be otherwise. And it's better, it's cheaper, it's stressless to just be yourself. So I shared my wins, I shared my losses, I shared my challenges, I shared my issues because I know. And if you now get on the comment section, you would see that truly people are struggling with a lot. But there's this sense of isolation. There's this, you're surrounded by people, but everybody seems to be pretending to have it all figured out. So when you look at yourself, it seems as though, like I'm the only one going through this shaky. When you talk about it, people draw strength from the fact that this seems to be normal.
Yeah.
This seems to be part of the life experience. So if this person that I'm looking up to can say they are going through this, who am I not to expect to go through same? That's basically it.
That's amazing. I just hope a lot of individuals. I mean, I experienced the same thing, but I wanted to know if we
But of
if we had the
course,
same graces, basically.
of course.
Okay. I've heard you say this, and also you just said it now. Your early days of loving to read books. I mean, I think that has helped to blossom. I mean, to blossom into the amazing storyteller that you are today.
Yeah.
I just want to ask: is it sufficient for us to say that the riches that are inside of people can be traceable to their history, maybe to what they experience, or there are markers, so to say that?
But of course, I don't think success is inherited. I don't think so. The environment, the nurture you give is very, very key. Now, I don't think I would have done all I am doing now if I didn't have the background I had. When I started reading, I was reading because I think because the first book I ever picked up, this is what I always think. I always think if A happened another way, B may not have followed. Now, if maybe the first book I consciously picked up was a dull, boring book, it may have killed my interest in reading. But the very first book I picked up, I can't say how that book came into my house. It was a little green book called Ogunmola, the Bashorun. I can't remember who wrote it, but I can see it in my mind's eye. It's a green book. It's not big, it's small. I opened it, and from page one, I was hooked. The storytelling, the imagery. It's like I was watching a movie in words. So it sparked my imagination. It was talking about the old Yoruba Empire, the Oyo Empire, oh, the Oyo Messi, the Obonin, the Are Ona Kakanfo. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, but I was talking about the Alaafin of Oyo. It was just like talking about the story of Ogumola, who was a very fierce warrior. These were historical books. After reading that book, I was eager to see what's happening in the next book. So anywhere I go, I see books, I grab them and I read them. Now, I started reading books on romance, anything readable, as long as it has a storyline, give it to me, I would read. Now, this reading gave me a very robust vocabulary for words, which belied my age. I was 10, 11, 12. I was a teenager. So at a time where my mates were running amok in the street, where my mates were, chasing boys and doing all of that, I was more interested in reading novels. I was more interested in traveling within the pages of these novels. So these novels were set in places other than where I live. Some were set in historical London. Some were set in the old Aztec Empire. Some were set in Egypt. Some were set in Ireland. Some were set in Scotland. So I could read about the Highlands. I could read about the kilts, the men in kilts. I would read about tall, broad-shouldered, blonde, blue-eyed men and romance. And it's true. It gave me a sense of romance. It gave me a sense of what life should be. So I always say books saved my life. It redirected my energy because I was a very precocious child. I was a very early bloomer and I had a lot of energy. I had a lot of what do you call it? Questions in my head. I was very inquisitive. Those books fill in the gap. Anytime you see me, I am reading something in the middle of the night. So it took a lot of my time. And this helped me develop a very, very strong sense of self. I had rules, I had boundaries, which were unheard of then for girls. You write me a love letter. The first thing I'm checking is the grammar. You write a love letter and send to a Bella. I will use red biro and correct the grammar. And chances are you will not write again. So, and when I look at you, you're my classmate. In the novels I read, this is not the kind of person I should be dating because you don't really have sense. For now, then the way you talk to me, it's not the way the hero in those books are talking to those ladies. So it made my standards when it comes to men very, in fact, impossibly high. But at that point, it was my saving grace. And it also opened my mind to things outside of my surrounding, international affairs, historical affairs. So I started thinking, okay, I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to work in the UN. So it just gave me purpose. So I believe if not for my interest in books and the world the books opened up to me, I don't know where I'll be now. I don't know where I'll be. I don't. But I think those early days changed the trajectory of my life. So it made me become a bit more focused. It made me want, dream, want more than my parents were able to give me, want more than my mates and I had. So it pushed me.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So right now I've watched you, over the years, your storytelling ability, and then brands began to call upon you to use your storytelling prowess to be able to advertise and promote their brands. And then they pay you up until now. Can you take us into that journey? Because a lot of individuals sort of may not be able to know the awesomeness of what they are carrying inside of them, that can be paid for. Take us into that journey. Maybe your first paycheck, the first alert you got, and how it's been over for the year.
It would shock you. The first alert I ever got was 3,000 naira. 3K. And that 3K meant the
Meant a
world
lot.
to me. Not because it was a lot of money, but because
Somebody saw
someone saw value. And they are the ones who approached me. In fact, when they approached me, I was like, no, I don't do that. Because I started writing on Facebook. And the thing about being an avid reader is that you become a good writer. I don't know why, it goes hand in hand. You're able to express yourself in words. Maybe because you've read so much that the words just flow. You can create a picture just from your words. And when I started writing about my life experiences, such as they were, I talked about my childhood, the kind of parents I've got. I talked about how they brought us up. I talked about discipline. And the thing, before then, I used to think my mother was special. I used to think I was the only person who had Veronica's kind as a mother. It wasn't until I started writing, I realized it's like all our mothers were in the same WhatsApp group. So people began to follow because they could relate. It's like some of them, when I write, they'll be like, Ella, are you sure you were not living in my house? This was exactly what happened in my house. And another thing I realized, we don't think our stories are that important because nothing fantastical has happened to you. You don't have one serious aha moment. You forget that there is beauty in the mundane.
Yeah.
There is beauty in the everyday basic kind of life. Everything that happens to you from the time you open your eyes in the morning till you close it in the night, even if you don't step outside of your house, there are stories that could come out of that. So when I began to write about the everyday stuff, people began following. And I didn't do it intentionally to build a following. It was just me doing something I liked. And people began to follow. I remember my elder sister asking me, all these followers you're packing, what are you going to do with them? I said, I don't know. I don't even know why they are following me because I felt I was doing something normal. This was something everybody knew how to do. I didn't know it was a skill. There was no conventional training. I didn't go for any storytelling course. I just took my phone and started typing, and the words started flowing. Then I was now getting followers from Facebook, and one day someone reached out to me and said, Ella, do you run adverts? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. Because I didn't even understand how the question worked. What is, do you run adverts? How? I don't have an
Whether you are
advertising
doing
agent.
Facebook ads or
I
something.
don't understand. I didn't understand the question. She left.
Wow.
After a while, she came back. She said, Ella, I see that your page is very engaging because you just post something now. Under 10 minutes, you have 200 comments. And these are real life human beings. These are not bots. These are not robots. They are talking, they are engaging in your content, and you are building a reputation as someone who has integrity, someone who is relatable, someone who's like the girl next door. I didn't understand it again. I'm like, but I've never run ads. She said, oh, I'll just send you a picture of my products and you post it and tell people to buy from me. I said, but I don't know you enough to do that. She said, you can know me. She sent me pictures of her store and all. She said, I'm going to pay you. I know it's not much, but I said, so how much will you pay me? She said she will pay me 3,000 naira. This was around 2018, 2019. I said 3K. I sent account number. This lady paid. So when I wanted to write for her ad, I just created a story around her products. I can't even remember what that product was. But it was so engaging. You know that from that 3K, that lady sold over 1 million naira. I was shocked. She came to me, she said, Ella, but you said you don't run advert. Ella, you have people on your page,
Wow.
and they trust you. So you should take this serious. She paid another 3K.
For another 1 million.
And then I think she now brought her friend.
Oh
She now brought someone else. They paid another 3K. So in like a week, I made 30,000 naira.
Wow.
Again, it wasn't the money. It was the fact that you're paying me for something I could have done for free. It didn't take any special skill. It just took me doing the same thing I've been doing and nobody has been paying me. After like a week or so, they came back. I said, it's no longer 3,000. You will have to pay me 5,000.
Wow.
They didn't argue.
Of course, they'll get
They
a
paid
million.
5K. That 5K lasted for another 3 or 4 days. I'm like, let's do 7. These people were not arguing. And now within a month, I went from 3K to 10,000. They were now bringing, they were paying. I'm like,
there's something here.
it was very magical to me. I was making income from Facebook, from doing something I've been doing for years, and nobody ever offered me a dime. And I decided for everybody that will run an ad through me, I was going to personalize your caption. So I now created a rate card. Your caption.
My own caption.
My own caption. Color me shocked. Nobody wanted to bring their
own caption. They wanted
better. They were like,
do it your way now.
You know how to talk to your audience. In fact, some of them will tell me, you even pointed out things in my product I have not thought about. Because for some of them, I will have to go and research. What's the benefit of this product? What does it do? Then I'll come and talk about the product. Then some of them will give me products. I'll tell them, if you're giving me your product to sample, if I use it, it does not work, I will never open my mouth and say it works. I can't do it. They agreed. So that's some products in my house till today. It never worked. And I told them, your money don't go. You paid me, but I can't advertise this. It doesn't work. So this is the one you sent me. What of the ones you're going to send to others? And that's how my journey, on social media, monetizing my social media started. And within a year, it became a full-blown business. It became a full-blown business where brands will even, then it wasn't videos, it was posts. So when the videos became a thing, I had to force myself to start doing videos. I remember my very first video. I used the first 1 hour to laugh because it felt very stupid. Somebody will stand in front of me and you're videoing me. I'm like, this is very silly. Can't I just write it? Please, let's write. Can I write a story?
No, do video.
Now it's about videos. And the first video I did, I charged 50,000, hoping that the person would argue and say it's too much. When they paid, it's like, God, how can you pay 50K? I was saying that to chase you away. And they paid. I did the video. They loved it. In my mind, I'm like, now when I see those videos, I'm like,
It was exclusive.
you mean people paid for this rubbish? But at the time I did it, it was good. It was good. So that's how I started. And from there, I began also training, helping, because I built my page myself organically. I never bought followers. I never used influencers to grow it, just on the back of my stories and my personality. And I also think on my authenticity. People began to follow because my house looked like theirs. Then when you come on social media, it's very intimidating. Now we even have content people who live in mud houses. Then you dare not appear in your mud house.
Yeah.
In fact, you would borrow houses to make videos on or take pictures. I was one of the few people that came on social media tying wrapper on my chest. I'll wear my Afghan t-shirt, tie my wrapper, because I'm like, why do I need to change because I want to make a video? This is my house, this is where I am. My kids, my house was quite small. I remember my orange sitting room.
Remember?
Yeah. So I'll make my videos there and people will be like, Maveru, I really like the fact that you're not pretending to be who you're not. Some were saying, hey, yeah, see her cutting.
I remember that time you're cutting at the back. A lot of. And why was it only? Let me use the word only women at that time,
because
women were not doing that.
Women pay attention to details
more than the men.
Yes.
About why were they ill talking at the time?
See, I can't explain that, but don't forget, women used social media more in those days.
Right.
You were one of the few men that were using social media. Because most men believed there's nothing worthwhile. It's a waste of time. It's a woman thing. They're just gossiping and, playing on social media. A lot of them came late. So we had a lot of women and we had a lot of them say things. There's some things you think in your head, you keep it in your head.
Yeah.
You don't say it out. Women have a lot of audacity. Some of them will say, hey, yeah, her chairs are even torn.
I used to see all those back then.
In my mind, I'll be like, I have toddlers. A torn chair is a no-brainer. And I'm not going to change the chairs because it offends your sensibilities. It doesn't concern me. They are my chairs. So if I am proud to post them, then if you don't like it, swipe. I believe life is a journey and we're in different stages. This is the stage I am in at that point. Why should I pretend otherwise? Why should I pretend I am what I am not just to impress strangers on the internet? It was the craziest notion. And I remember friends advising me, Ella, if you want to grow as an influencer, get other friends of yours who have better houses.
I go there.
The aesthetics are very key. It will make your views more, people would gravitate towards you. And I'm like, and on the days they want to visit me, am I taking them to my friends' houses? It was ludicrous to me. I didn't understand it. And again, I will trace that to my upbringing. Like I told you, contentment is a thing. It is something that is sorely missing now. You know how you come on the net, you see people flashing money. It never bugs me. It never touches me because I'm like, I'm happy for you. I face mine. I don't feel the need to compete with you. I don't feel the need. The worst thing is to pretend I am there when I am not. It's a journey. We all have different timetables. We all departed at different stations. We are experiencing different things. So every dog has its day. So
Awesome. So being able to work with brands now, I mean, how has it been for you? Now you're no longer charging 3,000.
how do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
It can't be possible now. So now you're doing a lot bigger, with brands. I mean, it's something that
That's the thing I'm talking about. I grew.
yes.
You see, life, everybody you see is going somewhere. Some people are going back. Some are going forward, but there's always movement. So I followed the process. And a lot of people right now want to start and they will think, I don't have what it takes. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have a tripod. I don't have those lights. I don't have a podcast mic. What exactly do you have? You have a voice. You have a phone. I don't care how bad your phone is. Start. If I had waited for everything to fall in place, if I'd waited to get all my ducks in a row, I wouldn't be where I am now. Just like saying you are improving on an idea. You can never improve on something that's in the ideation stage. You can only improve something you've started. So once you start, automatically you would improve because practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
So I started. And as I was growing, my content became more refined. My aesthetics changed, of course. Then my gadgets changed. I got more polish. I started building my brand because when I started, I was like an accidental influencer. It wasn't intentional. But after I saw that this is something viable I would love to do, I became more intentional about building my brand. And that's when I started changing a lot of things. Normally I hate dress up. I don't do dress up. I don't like wigs. I don't like making my hair. But invite me to an event, pay me money, and you will see Veronica's daughter. You may not see Ella because if you want to see Ella, this is Ella. Ella is different from, I'm 3. Let me explain. There's Choma. Choma is the one only those in my inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean my family members. Those people that knew me right from when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. There's the Choma they know. And that Choma is almost never dressed. It's always like in a wrapper. I'll tie it around my neck. I'm comfortable. I'm good. Don't stress me. Then there's Ella. This is Ella. just casual, wear slippers, wear a dress or a pant, just wear earrings, no makeup, and I'm good. Then, of course, there's Dr. Ella slash Veronica's daughter. That's the public persona. That's the one the brands are paying for. So they pay you. It's the same person, but everybody has different facades for different occasions and different audiences. So now I have to put in more effort. I have to buy better hair, buy better outfits, put on full makeup to attend events as a public speaker.
But still on your own terms, not as if you
Of
borrowed,
course.
not as if you.
No,
Yeah.
no. I would always do what I could afford.
Per time.
I remember the first good hair I bought then was 30,000 naira. See that 30K? I paid it like 3 times because I couldn't imagine paying 30,000 for hair. Now, I can buy hair. I can buy hair. Let's just say I can buy hair. And left to me, I won't. But again, I am different from my brand. You have to rep. This is me. So everything I am doing, I won't overshoot. I won't do above what I can afford.
Per time.
So my brand is growing. A time will come when I would afford better than what I'm affording now. There was a time I couldn't afford a half of what I can afford now. So it's a journey. It's a journey. So people want to skip the process. They want to start today. And in the next 2 weeks, you're comparing your 3 weeks content journey to my 7 years. Don't play.
That's fantastic. Okay, so now you're an influencer, you are a public speaker, you are an author,
Lecturer,
also a lecturer,
mother,
yeah.
wife,
Is what? Okay,
businesswoman.
a whole lot.
Yeah.
So how have these monetizable routes, how have they blossomed for you? I mean, has it been in a sequence or together? And then share to individuals who are watching us about how they also can monetize what it is.
Well, some of them happen simultaneously.
Okay.
Some happened, one after the other. But I'm a lazy girl. This is true. People will say, Ella, don't say that. You don't know me. So when people tell you this is the kind of person they are, believe them. You don't know them more than they know themselves. So I have settled I was going to make my money the easiest way, the laziest way. And what's the laziest way? Do the things I love and get paid for it. I love to teach. I love to train. I love public speaking. These are things I can do in my dream. Wake me up, give me a crowd of 10,000. I wouldn't feel a thing. So I have decided I was going to make my mark around education. Around this, because this is what I am good at. I'm an Anambra girl, so I know how to do buying and selling. But it's not my happy place. It's something I would rather not do. I sell fabrics. I have my fabric business. I have my baby store. I started my baby store when I was doing my master's in Uniport, and I knew I needed money. I was a young wife. I just had 2 kids then. Now I have 4. I started that baby shop in order to put some money in my pocket and help support my family too. I didn't want to leave everything, to my husband to do. He's capable, but he didn't marry a liability. So I needed to be productive. So I started the baby store, and the baby store grew. Right now, I am self-aware enough to know that that baby store is not what I want to do the rest of my life. It has served its purpose. It saw me through some tough times, but I outgrew the business. The business is still booming. In fact, people ask me, why don't you bring your business on social media? I'm like, I don't want the business to grow more than it is. People find that very weird, but I know what I'm saying. The more it grows, the more of a burden it becomes to me. I don't want to grow this business. I don't want to put in my energies here because it's temporary in my mind. I know it's going to shut down. This is not what I want to do. If my sister that is managing it, if she gets married and she leaves Port Harcourt, I will shut it down. So right now she's managing it. Then the fabric business is something I do because I do need a store for that. It's in my house. I'll post it on my socials and people will buy. I also attend a few trade fairs and I sell. And I'm good with that. The real place I want to make my mark and my money is
Education.
education, public speaking. So right now, I take speaking gigs across the country. Of course, I'm a lecturer. Because Emeka, do you know any millionaire lecturer? Do you
I think
know?
I know a few
But it didn't make their money from being
from
lecturers.
just being lecturers in
So that's
inside of this
yes.
Nigerian.
So now I am doing my lecturing, but I'm doing that because it's my passion. I love it. The pay is not great, but the opportunities for advancement,
Out there.
they are there. Then, when it comes to my public speaking, my trainings, and my social media thing, I love it. It's like I have natural aptitude for them. So I didn't stress myself. You know, people like to jump. Oh, Emeka is making money from this. You jump into it because there's money. This person is making money from there. Even if you like, tell me that they are making money. If it is not something I have natural aptitude for, I will not go. Because even if I succeed at it, at what cost? It's going to cost me. What is it going to cost me? Stress, peace of mind. I hate mathematics. I hate handwork. I learned that very early. I don't like anything that I have to use my hands to do. Hairdressing, braiding, tailoring, makeup, anything that I have to use my hand and do it, craft, I'd rather chew glass than do it. Take me anywhere where I need to talk, I'm good. But you see this handwork, I won't do it. And there was a time where almost every woman I know wanted to be a designer. They would jump into designing. From designing, they jump out and decide, oh, baking is E. They'll go and learn baking. Just gathering lots of useless skills. I say useless because you will not use them. You're just confused. What do you like to do? What's that thing you can do for free? I can speak from morning till night for free. So let's do speaking. Let's do training. Let's do teaching. Pay me for that. My social battery is very high. I am not an introvert. So anything that has to do with the outside, I am there. But don't come and ask me to sit down somewhere and bid. Create a masterpiece back. Create it, I'll pay you, I'm fine. So I discovered very early what I like to do, and I'm facing that side of my life. It's going to save me a lot of stress. Instead of asking me to go and learn something that will be difficult for me, I'll be wasting my time learning, knowing that it's not what I want to do with the rest of my life. It's futility, and that's not for me.
Awesome. I mean, that's something that a lot of people have to also understand. Knowing it's part of one of the things that we talk about when it comes to monetizing what you know. Being your happy place or being in the place where you understand yourself and it can be able to utilize. Okay, so finally, you've spoken a little bit about it, but we are talking in terms of spousal support. I mean, you've seen you and your husband. you know, I don't know if this is peculiar to women only, because for me, people say, okay, my husband gave me the permission. I'm like, should your husband actually give you permission to be able to thrive or to blossom? It's something that is alien to me. I don't know. It's like my own ideology. My wife doesn't need a permission from me to function or to thrive. But I think we live in a society that is a bit, if I can say that, the culture from the ages
Patriarchal, very patriarchal.
very patriarchal. So what's your take when it has to do with spousal support, to be able to fully live your dreams? Women complain about overwhelm, but what role has your husband played? Give us an insight regarding your support systems and your structure to be able to combine all these roles that you have.
You know why I'm smiling? Because just this morning, I just looked at my husband. I told him, "You're a very good husband." Though. The man looked at me and just laughed and walked away. See, when you talk permission is something one can give and take away.
Mm.
And nobody should have that much control over anybody they didn't give birth to. Permission is what I can give my child, depending on their ages. Maybe when they are less than 18.
Mm.
That's what permission is. Because I feel I know better than you do. And I know that this thing is not good for you. You may not see it now, but I have been there and I know what's on the other side of this decision. So I am sorry, I can't permit you. Now relay that to spouses. Before, I used to blame the men. I used to say, oh, men are this. Oh, men, how can you do this? How would you marry somebody's daughter and do like this and do like this? Then, after some time, I realized the problem isn't always with the men. They are a problem, I agree, but that's not where the biggest issues lie. The biggest issues always lie with the women and their choosing. When I was getting married, in fact, my parents felt I would be the child that will be most problematic, especially when it comes to marrying, because they felt this girl is too liberal and her ideas are too out there. Who's going to take this and all that? So I said in my mind, like I told you, I was very self-aware. I read a lot. I said if I was not going to find a man who was going to, I wasn't looking for a man to take care. You know, that's the problem. We look for men to provide. We look for men not about what we are going to add to the man, not about what we and the men will accomplish together, but you're looking for someone who's going to pay your bills, who is going to protect you, who is going to give you. So now, because of what you are looking for, there are things you don't pay attention to. The biggest thing you're paying attention to is the economics. Does he have money? Does he have a house? Does he have a car? What is he willing to give me? So you don't look out for character or character flaws. And men do not always hide or lie about what they want in women. It is the women who do a terrible job of not listening. They say it. My wife no go work. A woman will hear it.
And it's direct.
He said it. But you think he's joking, or you think he will change his mind when we marry. How? He has already told you. And a man has the right to want a woman who will not work. He has the right. That's his choice. The same way, a woman has the right to choose a man who wants or who expects her to work. The only thing is, you that is looking for a woman who will not work, make sure you choose a woman who does not have any dream of working. Don't go and choose a career woman and try to change her, try to stop her from working.
Okay.
So it's in the choosing. Now, when we were dating, I laid all my cards on the table. It was long distance. I was in Abuja, he was in Port Harcourt. And we talked about literature. You know, when there's distance, the way your sense works. Because when you're together in the same place, you're too busy having sex. And God help you, the man is good at sex. So the sex confuses you.
Confuses or blinds everything.
Yes. So the moment you come, your brain doesn't work. You see, you're laughing now. Am I lying? Are you laughing? That is true.
The come, is it the going and coming?
As in, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're coming. So you will see women with unsuitable partners, then you know most times the sex is terrifyingly good. Wow. Terrifyingly good. Wow. That's why a woman who makes sane financial decisions will make terrible decisions as to the kind of man she settles down with. She's not thinking well. She's thinking in orgasms. So because we were apart, we weren't having sex. There was no sex involved. So we were able to discuss like rational thinking human beings. Oh, I want to do my master's. I want to do my PhD. So he will understand the kind of woman I am. Not tomorrow. You will say, Ati say you don't finish. Is this thing not too much? And I told him all my flaws. I did. Because my mother promised me any man that comes to marry me, she will tell him all my flaws. That she's a Christian woman and she does not want to give anybody defective products so that tomorrow you will say you were deceived. So before my mother, I told him, I know how to cook, but I hate cooking. I would rather not cook. I'm not great at washing. All these things. See, let me not lie. I have home training. But you see, all these house chores, if I can outsource it, my husband didn't see it as a big deal. He told me, you can't even wash my clothes. I'm a banker. Laundry washes my clothes. I say, it's good you're saying this, so not tomorrow now you will say. So I laid all my cards on the table. So I made this on promises. I may not be able to do this, but you see, on this, I would be a loyal wife. I would always make you proud of me. I will be the person that since you cannot do this, there should be some things that you can do. And I didn't marry him for money because it's not like he had money. He was a young man coming up, a banker. So it's not like he was rich. So we were marrying ourselves because we liked ourselves. We're very compatible. People will say love is never enough. Never. It's not enough. It will die quickly when you're faced with the vicissitudes of life. What if you marry and you don't have kids? Will the love survive and keep you? What if you have special needs kids, like I did? Will the love survive? What if you marry and the man loses his job? Will you still see in him what you saw before? So I got married. And even before we got married, this man showed me signs that that I knew that, if you miss this one, I'm not sure you will marry in this life. The support was mind-blowing. As in, he took it upon himself. Okay, there was a time I visited and there was a bag I left and I had something I needed for my NYSC call-up. I called him, he was in the office. This man took a bike, went back home, brought the thing, sent it through RTC then to Oka for me. When we got married, everything I needed, it wasn't about money. It was never about the money. It was the fact that somebody loved you enough, wanted you to succeed so badly that every issue that stood between you and success, he had a way of demolition. He will tell you, don't do like this, do this, do this. We have never had a discussion about submission in my house. We've been married for 16 years. We have never discussed submission. Why? It is easy to be under the leadership of someone who has shown that he is capable of leading you. He's capable of making decisions in your favor. You understand? The Bible, people will say, submit to your husband. Before then, what did he say? Love your wife as yourself. Will you beat your wife? Will you cheat on your wife? Will you see something good for your wife and block it? So if I know that at the end of the day, you are looking out for me, it will be easier for me to submit to you. It will be easier for me to submit to your leadership because you have shown that it is my progress you want. It is my success you want. And I won't be the woman I am today. I will not be where I am if my husband did not support me. I did MSc in his house. I did PhD. And PhD is no beans. Some days you will go to school from morning till night. He will do the school run. He will make sure the kids have something to eat. Now, I'm a public speaker. I have never gotten a speaking engagement and my husband will say, you never travel too much. Now, wow, this travel. No, just once they send me a letter, I'll forward it to him. We all know, okay, she's traveling on this date to be back on this
They
date.
make
We
preparations.
just need preparations, and that is that. There has never been an argument as to you're traveling too much. This your travel, not too much. All the things I was doing to get here, what did you think I was doing it for? To come and stay at home? You understand? He sees something that will be good for my brand, he will call you. There's this thing I saw, you will like it, let me snap it. So that's the kind of person I live with. And when I tell women that money is not the biggest support your husband can give you, because money is something you can get for yourself. Some will give you money and war in equal measure. There are husbands who do not have money to give, but the support is massive, holding down the home front while your wife is going forward. I have a designer. When she has overnight work, her husband comes to her. Two of them will stay in the shop. He will take care of the baby while his wife is sewing. He may not have all the money in the world, or he could have said, I beg go, carry your pikin, or go alone. He will follow her to the shop for security. They will lock themselves in the store. The wife will be sewing, he will be sleeping with his baby. If the girl wakes up in the night, he will feed her. In the morning, if she's going for trade fair, this man will beat the baby and take her to school. Come back and bring her from school. Why? He knows my wife is not able to do this. Now, not all men will do that. Some will tell you, I didn't say don't go for your trade fair, but make sure my daughter goes to school and comes back. And this is something you know you can actually do. So it's about intentionality. It's about understanding that her success is as important as yours. And you should be hoping your wife succeeds. If she does, it's to your credit. It means you have something to fall back on if something happens to your business. Anything can happen. You want a wife that would hold down the forte for you. What if you die? Then what becomes of your kids? You should want a wife that would step into your shoes seamlessly and your children will not feel it. You should want a wife who's not waiting for you to come back to pay NEPA bill. You should want a wife who will buy things for your children without waiting for you to come back. You go to some houses, once children say, Mommy, I want biscuit. Dirty for your daddy. Your daddy for biscuit of 100 naira. But it's the reality of a lot of people. And you can't complain because you were the one. Most of the men who said, I don't want my wife to work. The problem is that you desire control so much. So you know, if she has money in her hands, she becomes selective and she becomes vocal. She has opinions because now she's no longer waiting for you to provide. Growing up, we saw men till today financially abuse their wives. You quarrel with your husband. In the morning as he's going out, he won't drop money for food, knowing that his wife doesn't work. So he's willing to suffer his kids to teach his wife a lesson. So you won't drop money, knowing that the kids will not eat today. But you want to teach their mother a lesson. So you go out so that the next time you shout, she will know her place and keep quiet. Most of our mothers took it because they didn't have options. But now, the options are enormous. So women are no longer taking it. Now we are marrying with purpose. If this partnership does not serve me, why would I want to give you my uterus to procreate through? I would go through the valley of the shadow of death for a man who is unworthy. It doesn't happen. So women are becoming they are wiser. They can now provide for themselves. And I think a man should be happy. Why? Emeka, if I am marrying you and I'm marrying you because of the money you have and what you can provide for me, that's a minus to you. But if I am marrying you, knowing that I have my money, I am marrying you because of you, because of the love I have for you, because of your personality, because of the other non-tangibles. You should be happy because now you know I am not marrying you for your money. But it's like the men are not even looking at that part. You want to be married for your money so that you can exert that control. And at the end of the day, the men become the biggest loser.
I think the conversations are both sides too, because this helps. These things or these ideologies also help us in becoming functional and even to be meaningful to ourselves. I mean, the other day I saw a guy post on one guy that does videos online based in Enugu. So he posted his wife gave birth recently, that many gifts that have been coming have been pampers. Sometimes the pampers are so many diapers or whatever that last for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Then one woman came in the comment section and said that was how they were dashing her pampers, dashing her those, and then she was taking some of them and hiding so that the man would still bring money, and then she would take the money and then bring and I'm like, how do people think of these things? I write them in the comment section.
The reason is this. The reason is
the whole public.
The reason is very simple. If a woman is not financially empowered, you see, women are deadly. I'm a woman and I can tell you for free. She will go through any means. Let me give you an example. Before, when I was newly married, the first 5 years the first 3 years before I began my business or anything, my husband was the sole provider. My husband buys me fuel, a full tank every 2 weeks. He gives me an allowance for myself. And when my husband comes back from work and goes to bed, I'll take his trousers and ransack them. I see money, I'll take some of it. Now, it wasn't that I was stealing his money, just that I felt I didn't need to ask you for 2,000 naira. I'll just take it. So once he comes, I see the money, I'll just take some and go my way. Sometimes he'll be like, I kept 5,000 now. I say, yes, I took 3,000. I'm not taking it for you not to know. But he's my source of income. And most times, I may not be able to ask for everything I need. But guess what? When I started my business, in the next 2, 3, 4 years, my husband stopped buying me fuel. He said, you're growing now. Your business can buy you fuel and all that. Do you know that one day I woke up and realized in like 5 or 6 years, I have not entered this man's pocket. That morning, I said, no, I have to resurrect my career. I now went to take his trouser. I sat it. I saw money. I took it. I was laughing because I knew that it was poverty that was making me do it then. Now I had forgotten that you have pocket. I no longer have to do it because I now have my money. If she had money of her own, she wouldn't even go to that extent. She wouldn't even conceive the idea in her head. So that's what poverty does. Poverty makes you think you're smart, but you're not. A lot of the responses we have to things are poverty infused responses, but we don't know. We cannot trace it to poverty, but poverty is the baba of them all.
Wow, it's been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much, Ella, for this great time we've had with you in this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
this brings a wrap to this episode. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I mean, subscribe to our channel as usual. Set your notifications for our upcoming episodes and even the other episodes of ours that you've not had access to. So thank you. This is the Knowledge Money Podcast. Every conversation leads to the money. My name is Emeka Nobes. Thank you for watching us. Ciao.